Shabbat Shalom, family. You know, we had a little difficulty today trying to figure out if we were going live or not. But we're here now. We figured out we're going to go live. And we're going to, I was trying to figure out earlier whether I should go live like this or go live like this. I think I'll leave it like that. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We were actually trying to figure out today whether we were going to go live for the family or not. But we decided to go ahead and give it to the family. Shabbat Shalom. Chachua, Hahuna. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Sayed, Adrinya, Adara, and Azaria. Okay, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. Normally we try to get started at 1 o'clock. We try to get started at 1 o'clock. We got a little late start. Shalom, Neff. Shalom, Shalom, Colin. Raylan. But we're going to get started now, all right? We're going to read out of the book. Well, first, as you know always, giving all honor and praise unto the Most High King of all creation, praying that he would guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, his people. May the Most High be praised forever and forever. I was trying to decide earlier, I was teasing the family saying I might go like this, go live like this here, and then maybe y'all see me in a different light. But no, that wouldn't be appropriate, I don't believe, for a prince. I think a prince need to keep it the way it is and let the family see him for who he is. All right? Shabbat Shalom, Isha. So before we begin, as normal, family, we're going to see if anyone has any questions. You all can type into the room if you have any questions, and we will address your questions and concerns prior to us getting started. Yamal, thug life, huh? Yamal, boy, you right, you correct. Brother Yamal or someone, Yamal, you have a question, you can type it into the room. Shalom, Ooze. Shabbat Shalom, Ooze. Shalom, Bub. So if you got any questions, you can type it in the room and we'll try to address your questions prior to us getting into our lesson today. Today's lesson, we're going to come out of Isaiah 58. We're going to come out of Isaiah 58 today. So if you have any questions, we can type them in the room. Please feel free. Type your questions in the room and we'll address them to the best of our ability. Are we to attend funerals? Absolutely. You can attend a funeral. That's my brother Yamel has that question. Yes, you can attend funerals. There are restrictions for an Israelite. First of all, if he's a priest, if he considers himself to be a high priest, then he can only attend funerals for his closest blood lineages. I believe it's his mother, his father, or one of his children. Outside of that, if he's a high priest, he can't attend. He's not supposed to attend funerals. He's not supposed to touch a dead body or come near unto a dead body. Outside of being a high priest, and yeah, you can attend a funeral. But now, if you go to a funeral, you have to keep things in mind. And some of those things that you have to keep in mind is that to simply attend a funeral does not make you unclean. But to go up to the casket and touch the dead body or the casket, you're unclean. That makes you unclean. You have to be purified on the 3rd day and the 7th day. Now, if you carry the casket, of course, that would make you unclean as well. You would have to be purified on the 3rd day and the seventh day. If you go to the cemetery and you step on graves to get to the grave that you're burying your loved one or your friend or your associate, that would make you unclean for the third day and the seventh day. Now, to become unclean doesn't mean that you have sinned. It doesn't mean that you are sinned. It means that you are ritually unclean to approach unto the Father. That's in prayer, in supplication, and things of that nature. You'll be ritually unclean to approach the Creator. It does not mean that you have sinned. Now, what you can do for this is that what you can do is you can have someone to stand behind to do the ritual ceremony of sprinkling you with water as an act of showing respect to the Most High's laws. You know, we don't actually have the waters of purification. We, at Temple Kipharim, we make a solution and we boil water and pray over it, and we go through ritual stances, but we don't have the red heifer that's required by the law in order for this to be done. I don't understand what your question is. I don't want to go to church in Babylon. Thanks, Yamel. You have to be a little bit more explicit in your question or your statement so that I'll understand. No one wants to go to church in Babylon, but we're here. And if someone has a funeral and they have it in the church, there's no restrictions that you can't go into that place to have a funeral, but you understand why you're there. You're not going there to worship any idols or participate in any of their idolatrous practices. It may be a little difficult for you to even be sitting in a church. So you have to make a distinction, whether it's going to be for you or for the person that's deceased, for you to pay your last respects to that individual. You have to make that decision, right? No one can make that decision for you. That's between you and the Almighty. If you want to find the laws pertaining to uncleanliness laws pertaining to the dead body, I believe it's in Numbers, the 19th chapter. You can go to Numbers, the 19th chapter, and it will explain the procedures when you come in contact with the dead, the bone of a man, the grave, or a structure or house that the person passed away in. Okay. Huhana, sure, sis. Well, we've given him the best that we can. And these types of questions and responses is what's needed on the Shabbat day for our people in this land of our captivity. Here we are here in the land of captivity, and we don't have a lot of people that's really strong in Torah and the understanding, divine understanding of the Creator to his laws to explain a lot of these things to us. We have a lot of new teachers who have newly risen up. I doubt if they read the entire Tanakh. I doubt it, because it's so fresh. Most people are so fresh. Not that it has anything to do with how long you've been in this way or how much you know, because when the Most High puts his spirit on you, you will awaken like that, and you will be able to do whatever the Most High's task is for you to do. But the majority of our people who are standing out here, running to the forefront, leading and teaching, and they're not qualified. They don't have that spirit upon them. And my brother, this don't have to be your last question. He says, last question. I need a Yah-only assembly. I need Virginia. Okay, I don't know that. You might have to request that. Somebody asked, who's that? Carlin. If you're asking, can you attend a wedding on the Shabbat, then I would say no. No weddings on the Shabbat day. Well, you hold on to that fear, sis. If it's not right within you, then you don't do it. If you don't feel like this is something that you want to do, then don't do it. And don't let anybody talk you to make you do whatever it is that you choose for yourself not to do. What I'm saying is that it's not a sin or evil of you to attend a funeral in a church. You may feel some kind of way about it, then don't do it. He needs to be connected to a congregation in Virginia. Okay. Amy, give him, if you have Sister Kokavia's information, give him her information. I know you don't have her husband's, SAR. I know you don't have his information, so you may have her information. I'm located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I mean, you know, you come up here if you like. Come up here in Pennsylvania if you like. It's a little hike every Shabbat, but from Virginia to Philly, it's a little bit of a hike, but it's okay. You can do that if you like. All right. Somebody asks, brother, what makes Yeshua HaMoshiach and do to individuals that are old covenant only? I don't understand the question. Let me get that. Y'all got to mind me for a minute because that's a little tiny joint. I got to read that. Let me see what he's saying. He says, brother, what makes Yeshua HaMoshiach an idol to the individuals that are old covenant only? Whoa! Do you really want to know that question? All right. Israelite Prince, Yisrael. All right, my brother. We're going to deal with that. Now, well, first, I guess this is a topic that we could have on the Shabbat day. I don't think it's going to be out of order for us to have that on a Shabbat day. All right? Okay. Let me ask this question, my brother. Do you believe in Yeshua to be the creator? Do you believe in Yeshua to be the creator? In your language, probably God. Okay. You do. Okay, then that's everything is wrong with that. Everything is wrong with that. And I have to clarify that because a lot of people believe that Yeshua is just the Messiah. A lot of Israelites believe that he's just the Messiah. They don't believe that he's the creator. They don't believe he's, as most people would say, God. They don't hold to that. So when people don't hold to that philosophy, I really don't have much of a problem with them because you can believe the Moshiach is whoever you choose to believe in the Moshiach as long as you worship the Creator and the Creator alone. But if you worship someone other than the Creator, like for example, Yeshua. If you worship Yeshua and you say that Yeshua is the Creator, then we have a problem. And then there's things that we need to talk about because you're right, my brother, that would be considered idolatry. Okay, Yamia, we're going to take care of that. Maisha put some information in there for you for Israelites that are only Torah-centered only, and you can go to those pages and you can, reach out to the sister. And if not, you can inbox me and I'll get you the information for the brother so you can talk to the brother and he'll give you the proper information. All right? So let me get back to the subject because this subject is very, very important. The question was about, do I believe in people who worship the Moshiach, Yeshua, as being the Moshiach? Do I think that that's evil, or do I think it's a sin, or what's wrong with it, basically? And I have to applaud the brother for even the way that he approached the question. I have to applaud you because a lot of our people who differ in their understanding and their mindset, they come off with an aggression when they speak to Torah Center only Israelites. They come off with an aggression that has nothing to do with trying to really seek an answer. So I respect you, my brother. I respect you for the way that you even approached in the wording of your question. It was respectful, it was honorable, and now we're going to get into the lesson. Okay? I wish I could bring you on camera, and then maybe you can pose your questions in a different light. You can have the opportunity to speak, and you can pose your view. If you want to get on camera, you let me know, show me how to do it, and I'll bring you on. Other than this, I'm just talking into the video camera, but I'm going to do my best with what I have to work with. Before we begin, is there anyone who disagrees or feels some kind of way about us having this discussion about Yeshua HaMashiach being the creator or the Messiah of Israel today on a Shabbat day? Because I don't want to offend any of my brothers, because we can always have this lesson later during the daytime, in the evening after Shabbat, if it's a problem for the family. Okay? So I don't see any opposing views as of yet. So we're going to get right into it. Let's go to the first book of the New Testament. Okay? I heard something shocking not too long ago that was very interesting to me. And you know what? Before we do this, you might want to go out and invite some of your friends so that these lessons don't have to be repeated. What's fine with you, brother? You want to come on the camera, or you just want to stay on the... Let me see what's going on here. It's Yah, Michael, the Archangel, and the Messiah are all in one. You might have to ask that question a little later, because we're dealing with another question right now. Shalom, Yisrael, Zion, and Jaliyah. Ra, shalom, Ra. And Carla, no problem for me. Oh, okay. Peace and blessings. Shalom, Shabbat shalom. All right. We're going to get with the question. And brother, if you want to come on the screen, let me know, and some kind of way I'll figure out how to get you in on the screen so you can, speak, and we can do this thing appropriately. So if you got a question, I'll get it immediately without the delay, because the camera has a little bit of a delay on it. And I know that this is important to you, else you wouldn't be asking. I'm respectful if others... Yeah, well, they say it's fine. I haven't had any rebuttals. I haven't had anyone saying that it wasn't cool, so we're going to get down with this. All right? All right. Okay. Well, let's start in the first chapter, the New Testament. Well, we first dealing with the very first portion of this book, and most people put a divider piece in here, and they say the New Testament. Well, what was the Old Testament? And if it's a New Testament, where did the Creator say that He was going to give us a New Testament in a book? The New Testament that I know of, that the Most High gives reference to, was going to take place in our inward parts. It had nothing to do with a book. This New Testament was written in Greek. It was written in the language of the European man. It was a lot of European gestures and ideology and all types of things are written in this book. But we're not going to go with that. We're going to go with the things that we know that are written, that can be verified or proven based on the wordings within this book. Okay? To call it a New Testament from the beginning is an issue, because it would mean that this is replacing the Old Testament, or that this is better than the one that had came before it. Whenever you got something new, it's improved, it's worked on, you thought about it, you did what you had to do to make it better. So to have that wording is kind of like, but that's what the people call it. Doesn't necessarily mean that the book itself refers to itself as the New Testament. So we're going to get into the New Testament, and we're going to see just where this Yeshua character fits in the history of the nation of Israel. Okay? So we're going to start in the book of Matthew, the first chapter, the first verse. Can you all see me clearly? You can see me clearly, right? Because my camera looks a little dull, a little dark. But you can see me clearly, right? Matthew, the first chapter, the first verse. And we're going to get started. And here we go. Before I begin reading, I want you to pay close attention to the wordings of this book. And then I'm going to get into some of the conspiracies and some of the contradictions. All right, if it's a little fuzzy, my other phone won't pick up. I don't know why my other phone won't grab me on the Wi-Fi. But if I close it out, then we're going to start from scratch, and I really don't want to do that. But it's bearable. So let's rock with this. If it's bearable. It is bearable, correct? Okay. All right. We're going to go with this. We're going to start in Matthew, the first chapter, the first verse. And like I said, first I want to go with some of the lies that's being told. And then I want to go with some of the things that's being told about the New Testament that just doesn't exist in the New Testament. The contradictions that are present in the New Testament. And what I was told when I was young, well, let's say, when I went to school to be an architect, I started school. It was in high school. They taught me these classes, architectural classes, and they taught me how to build houses and lay out the foundation and construct high-rise buildings and just regular houses like the ones we live in and we reside in. One of the key functions that the teacher used to get on us about is that you have to pay attention to the foundation of the structure. What does that mean? That means that the foundation is not right when you're building that house. No matter what you build off of that foundation is going to crumble. It just takes the right storm, the right weather, or over a period of time, not too long of a time. The normal life expectancy might be 100 years for a house with a great foundation. Well, this foundation, because it's not built right, it'll last for maybe 10, 15 years because the earth has a vibration in it that will cause the foundation to crack. If the foundation is not done right, and if it's not put together right, it's going to cause it to be destroyed. So now we're looking at the New Testament. And what I've learned is that when you have a theory, a thought, an idea, or a concept that differs from the law, the Most High says, what is that? Jeremiah 6:16. He says something like, if it's according to the law and the testimony, if the word is not of that or something similar to that, then that lets you know that there's not no light in it. We can read that shortly. Somebody can grab that and post that in the room. Jeremiah 6:16. So what I'm saying is, when you have matters of controversy dealing with who is who and what is what, you go to the root, go down to the foundation, deal with the foundation of the issue, and that'll let you know if everything else built off of that foundation has any validity or any volume or any strength to it to support it. You can't put down the building first and flip it upside down and put the high part under the ground and put the foundation up in the air. You can't do that. The foundation is made just for that. It's called a foundation because it's down in the ground. Okay? So we're going to tear this theory down, or we're going to deal with this theory, and it's up for you to consider. I'm not going to tell you yes or no. I'll allow you to determine your answer after it's over. Before I say this, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not attacking any of my brothers and sisters that believe in Yeshua. If that's what you choose to do, so be it. That's between you and the Creator. I don't have anything to do with that. The question was posed to me how I feel, whether he qualified as being the Hamashiach, and the brother who said yes, he believes that he should be. He also says he believes in Yeshua to be the Creator. So I'm going to address these issues because it was a question that was posed in the room. You, my brother, you, my sister, You still my brother and my sister. You might not feel so comfortable with me right now, but I guarantee you, I promise you, if you are seeking to serve the Creator with a pure mind, you will absolutely appreciate what's about to be brought forward. And it will cause you to change your views in how you see the one that they call Yeshua. Whether you walk away from it or not, it will cause you to bethink yourself. Okay? There you go. There you go. It says, "Thus saith the Creator, stand ye in the ways and see and ask of the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find your rest for your soul. But they said, we will not walk therein." Very good. Toda Rabbah. Absolutely. The old path is the foundation to serving the Creator. The old covenant. We got what we call a new covenant now, which is a new way of serving the Creator. And I haven't even gotten into the book yet. So let's get into the book. Toda Rabbah, Isha. Ishti was correct. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ. Now, what does that mean? That means this book is about to give us the genealogy or the generation, the history of Jesus Christ. That's what this means, okay? That means that this book is about to give us his history. Go out and invite some of your friends because they might need to hear this. Abraham. I'm sorry. I missed something. It says, the book of the generations of Jesus Christ, the son of David. Was Jesus the son of David? As the story says, his mother was Elizabeth, who was a Levite. His father was supposed to have been Holy Spirit, which has no genealogy. So if he was divinely born of an immaculate conception, how is David his father? Now, I haven't even gotten into the book. I'm just on the very first line, the very first paragraph of the book. And already it throws all kind of doubt on his validity. Remember, if the foundation is faulty, the rest of the building can't stand no matter how good you put those bricks together. The foundation has to be strong. This is the foundation of JC, of idolatry, or not even idolatry, of idol worship. Christianity. This is their foundation. So if this foundation is not on point, nothing else can stand on top of it. And that's where we're at. Mary was the seed of David. Prove and verify what Mary was the seed of David, and I'll eat the book. Show me any genealogy in the book of Genesis, in the book of Matthew, Revelation, Luke, or the New Testament that refers back to the lineage or generations of Mary as a Levite, and I'll eat the book. You won't be able to do it, and I pray that you don't bring up Luke. If you bring up Luke, we'll take a walk down Luke. If you bring up Matthew, we're going to take a walk in Matthew. Well, we're going to touch on those things anyway. But what happens is we're mistaken. Many people try to say that Mary was out of the lineage. Her father was Hillel. Was that her father? Because according to Luke, it says that was Joseph's father. According to Luke, 3rd chapter, 23rd verse, that says that Hillel was the father of Joseph. Supposedly the father of what was believed the father of Jesus or Yeshua. But if you want me to go there, that's fine. But hold on for a second. Let me finish dissecting this first chapter. Because this first chapter, and then I'll lead to where you're trying to go to say that that's Mary's genealogy. And even that genealogy don't stand weight, because that genealogy goes all the way back to the genealogy in Genesis, but it's different. It's different. They added people, took away people, changed names. It's just miscombobulated. And if you got time, go read down in Luke, the 3rd chapter, and read at the bottom 23 to around 39, I believe it is, where you read about the genealogy that you want to say is Mary. If you want to say it's Mary, then so be it. But read about their genealogy and then go back and compare that genealogy to the genealogy in Genesis and the genealogy in Chronicles. That's right, he ain't. It says the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, or Yeshua, or Yahushua, the son of David, which we know is a lie. He's not the son of David. And even their Christian doctrine verifies that he's not the son of David. They say that because he didn't have a physical father. Every Hebrew, in the Hebrew lineage, we trace our lineage through our fathers, not through our mothers. So even if that was Mary's genealogy, it has nothing to do with the genealogy of Yahushua. It would have nothing to do with his genealogy, putting him in the house of the lineage of Dawid. Hebrew men always trace their lineage through their father's house, not their mother's house. We've always traced our lineage through our father's house. Well, you can look back in the book and you can see that this man begot this man, and that this man begot this man, and this man begot this man, and so on and so on and so on. It's very rarely that you would see anything about a man begetting a woman begetting a man. Not that it can't happen, but very rarely. And this man's lineage is counted through that woman. That does happen in the scriptures, but every once in a while. It's more often that you see where the man produced this man, even in here in the New Testament, even in the book that we're reading, even in the Matthews, they don't talk about the woman's lineage. They talk about the man's lineage.